Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Kate Kumar. I'm the Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions for the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences at the George Washington University. And in this webinar, we're going to be talking about the Master of Science in Applied Economics. And I'm joined here by Professor Joanne Weiner, who is the Program Director for Applied Economics. She's going to give you an overview of the program, and then we'll be taking your questions at the end. As we go through the slides, please type your questions in the Q&A box that you see located in the bottom toolbar. Also, we will be recording the session, so if you would like a copy of this recording, please feel free to email me, and I'm going to drop the email in the chat so you have access to that. And Professor Weiner, if you could advance to the next slide.
Okay, this is the one thing I didn't practice here.
Mhm.
Okay,
Sometimes it just needs to wake up.
I know, it does seem to wake up. There we go. I have to click
There
on it.
we
There's no arrow, I click.
go. All right, before we get into the program details, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about our school. So we are the George Washington University, and we're located in the heart of Washington, D.C., which is the nation's capital, since 1821, and we are the largest institution of higher education in Washington, D.C. We've got about 15,000 graduate students from more than 130 countries, so we have a very diverse student body. We have a great location. So we are walking distance from the White House, the World Bank, the IMF, the State Department, the Smithsonian Institution. So we're very close to top government, nonprofit, and private sector organizations. And this gives our students access to internship opportunities as well as career possibilities once you graduate. Now, applied economics is housed within the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences. And so we are just one of 10 schools within GW. We also call Columbian College of Arts and Sciences CCAS for short. So CCAS is the largest academic unit with about 90 graduate programs, about 2,200 graduate students, and more than 500 full-time faculty members, and about $21 million in annual research funding. And with that, I'm going to pass the microphone to Professor Weiner, who will get us started and provide an overview about the Applied Economics program.
Great. Well, thank you, Kate, and welcome to all of you to this online information session. I'm going to tell you all about the program that we have at Applied Economics, and as well as some other facts about GW. But let me begin with my view on why you ought to study at George Washington University. Well, we're at the center of career opportunities in so many areas that it's hard to list them. Economic consulting, federal and state agencies, the non-governmental organizations, and of course the whole World Bank group of the World Bank, the IMF, the IDB, the IFC. Those institutions are very, very close to us geographically, and they're also places where we often have our students working, and I'll get into more of that later. We have think tanks in the whole private sector. We also offer dozens of graduate programs and certificates. We have professional schools of law, medicine, public health, business, engineering and applied sciences, and public policy administration. We are a full university here, and our students take advantage of all that the university has to offer, either by taking courses in those other areas or by being research assistants for professors over, say, in the Milken School of Public Health. Finally, our faculty is internationally respected and recognized. We have a number of outstanding academic programs and research initiatives, and GW is a member of the American Association of Universities. I'll quickly show you one of the advantages of our location. The arrow points right there to Foggy Bottom, which is the name of our the region in Washington, D.C., Foggy Bottom. It's actually Foggy Bottom because it gets very foggy here. We used to be underwater before we were filled in. There's the White House not far away. Down to the left, as I look at it, is the Potomac River, and just south of the Potomac River is our D.C. National Airport. It's just a few metro stops away from where we are. If you want to take a look at campus, then go ahead and take a virtual tour at virtualtour.gwu.edu. It's a great way to get a brief overview of where we live. I actually live up in Northwest DC. I've been a resident here for about 30 years. As I mentioned, my name is Joanne Weiner, and I'm the founding director of our Applied Economics program. We've been here. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year with a great big celebration later on in April. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have an MA and a PhD in economics from Harvard University. I studied public finance, and I also have a bachelor's in business administration from the University of California at Berkeley. I worked in finance before coming to George Washington University. As you can see, the Treasury Department. I lived in Brussels for about 10 years total and speak French, and worked while I was there. I worked for the European Commission as a consultant. And finally, I am, in addition to being your academic advisor, I also am the professor for your required microclass, which means that I get to know every student in the program personally, which is something that I value and one of the great benefits of our program. Let me talk a little bit about our program. So why study at Applied Econ at GW? Well, it's our program. We are Department of Homeland Security STEM designated degree program, which means that for international students, you have 3 years of working under OPT after you earn your degree. Our program requires just 30 credits, 10 courses, and most students earn their degree in less than 2 years. We have dynamic professors with real-world experience. Students may simultaneously study for a graduate certificate in areas such as data science, environmental and natural resource policy, business analytics, and more. We offer free workshops in communications and coding, and our program is a university partner with the World Bank's Data Lab that allows our students to collaborate in person with World Bank economists. That is a real important feature of our program, which I'll talk about more later, and it's also a class that I lead. Why study applied economics at GW? Our people. During their exit interviews, our graduates report that their classmates are the best part of their program. How do I know this? Because I give exit interviews to all of our graduates, and I'm always seeking ways to improve the program. What's good, what's bad, what should be changed, what shouldn't be changed. This is why our program gets better and better every year. Our students report that the collaborative spirit enhances their education and stimulates them to expand their intellectual pursuits. I can't tell you how many students have told me that through some event that we had organized, they said, oh, I met this student from another program at GW, and now that led to a job interview that I have. Or thank you for organizing this alumni event because I didn't realize that I had this in common with a student who had come to this program. Or even through our LinkedIn group, a new student this semester who's from Vietnam, I asked her if she knew one of our graduates, and she said, yeah, I've met up with him. I said, well, that's great. He's going to be at our alumni event on Friday. So those are the kinds of things that are really great about our people, and people make a big difference. Due to their compassion for our students and their extensive real-world experience, our professors consistently receive top evaluations from our students. That is great. And actually, I'm involved in the hiring process for all the professors. And one reason why they're so good is because I ask them to be good. And it's actually not hard for them to be good because they come in with a great compassion and an interest in teaching our students. And finally, our leadership team works diligently to gain feedback from students and professors to improve the applied economics program. Finally, why study applied economics at GW? Our career outcomes. How do we prepare you for your career? We provide departmental funding for work as research assistants and for internships. We have extensive career and job search services through one-on-one mentoring, the Handshake Career Exploration Platform, and many career workshops, both in person and virtual. We have a very active alumni network via LinkedIn, which I've already mentioned. That LinkedIn group is open only to people who have enrolled in the Applied Econ program or our professors. It's not open to everyone. You have to actually enroll to join it. We have networking events, happy hours. We actually have a happy hour tomorrow night where I and the current students and the alumni, and then students from other universities, Applied Econ programs, and our professors are going to attend and just have a chance to informally chat. We have career panels. We participate in DC-based economic organizations. Our students have weekend outings and explorations and so on. Washington is a great city for doing all sorts of stuff outside of academics, our museums, our sports, our outdoor activities. And we have solid job placements in economic and regulatory consulting, applied research in the private sector, non-governmental organizations at the IMF, the World Bank, and the Federal Reserve Banks, and US and foreign governments, and more. So that's the overview about why study. It's our people, our program, and our career outcomes. So let me now turn to some of the key features of our MS in Applied Economics. The program basics, the courses, admissions information, financial assistance, our professors, our students, careers, and more. By the way, that photo there is GW in the springtime, and that pavilion there is a place where students often hang out to study, and it's a 1-minute walk from where I am sitting right now. The essential features of our program. We require 30 credits made up of 6 core courses and 4 elective courses worth 3 credits each. Classes meet once a week, primarily in the evening. Most students take 3 classes a semester. Students who are, many students study full-time. Most students study full-time. Some may study part-time, especially Americans. International students tend to have a full register full-time, except for in their final semester. So if you're going full-time, you'll complete the program in 3 semesters, plus 1 summer session or 1 additional semester at a reduced course load. Many students work on or off campus while studying for their degree, and many students also study for graduate certificate while earning their master's degree. To mention the point about working on or off campus, everyone, international or domestic, can work on campus from when they begin. International students tend to have restrictions for off-campus work that we'll talk about later. What are our core applied econ courses? Math for economics, applied micro theory, the course I teach, applied macro, probability and statistics for economics, applied econometrics, and time series analysis. Those 6 core courses will give you all of the tools that you need to go out and become applied economist. And I will mention that in our courses, nearly all of them, except for math, require that students use one of a coding language, Stata or Python. We are very quantitative in that way. We have a lot of electives offered. I won't read through the whole list here, but to give you an idea of the range of electives, we have courses such as machine learning with Python or R for economics. We've got industrial organization. We've got the economics of technological change. We've got development economics, quantitative risk management, international macro and finance, applied financial analysis, behavioral economics, and so on. Students may also take courses at some of our professional schools, and I've listed them here and I've mentioned them earlier. That is one of the nice things about being at a full campus like George Washington University is we have schools in public health, business, engineering and applied science, and public policy and public administration. Our students may take courses in those areas to enhance their degree, and if they may want to specialize in something beyond economics. I know many of you are here because you're curious about admissions information, so here we go. General prerequisites are at least a B grade in macro and microeconomics, at least a B- grade in college level calculus, a minimum 3.0 cumulative GPA from your undergraduate institution. You must hold a bachelor's degree to come here for graduate studies. A personal statement of 500 to 1,000 words and 2 letters of recommendation. Those letters can be from an employer and or from professors. If you are still an undergraduate, probably your letters will come from a professor. If you've been working for several years, it's likely that your letters are going to come from someone who you've been working with, one of your employers. If you don't, excuse me, on the letters, we encourage them to be from someone who knows you really well. So it's the content of the letter is far more important than the title of the person writing the letter. So if you don't really know the CEO of your company, don't ask that person to write a letter, but ask your manager who can really reflect on some of your leadership, your academic, and other qualities that we look for in our students. We do not require GRE scores, and you do not need to submit them. They do not form part of the evaluation at all. We evaluate the full application as part of the admissions process. And if you don't meet the prerequisites, please email the director to explain your situation and include that information in your statement. Many of you may have already emailed me to say, well, I don't yet have the calculus. What do I do about it? I've responded to say, well, you should take a class before you start the program, and mention that we've been in touch in your statement, so that the admissions committee can be aware of how you are meeting this potential deficiency in your application. What are our admissions dates? To start in the fall semester, which is coming up we begin actually the last week or 2 of August. Apply by February 1st if you wish to be considered for financial assistance and awards. the general application deadline is April 1st. If you want to start in the spring semester, which is right now, we've started the spring semester, but to be first starting the spring semester of 2026, apply by October 1st, and we accept applications throughout the fall. Our admissions deadlines are flexible, so don't worry if you miss the deadline. For more information, contact the graduate admissions office. I'm not the person to contact for details about admissions. Kate is closer to the admissions office than I am. And you can find this online. We have everything available on the web. Briefly about tuition, the fees and health insurance. We charge tuition per credit hours. It's not like when you're an undergraduate where you pay a fee and take whatever courses you want. Here, you only pay for the courses that you're taking. For new students starting now, the fee per credit hour is $2,020. So for students taking 3 classes, in other words, full-time, 9 credits, the tuition per semester is $18,180. Tuition for the entire program at today's rates will equal $60,600. In addition to tuition, students are subject to the Columbian College Arts and Sciences fees, and you must have health insurance while studying at GW. You can find information about all of this on our website. I have them listed at the bottom of the slide here. And as Kate mentioned at the beginning, we will be sending the slides out to those who participate in this session. So you don't need to worry about keeping track of these website URLs. Many of you are interested in financial assistance and awards, so I'll talk briefly about the type of financial assistance that we offer here at George Washington University. To be considered for a financial award, just check the box on the application. The award may be in the form of a tuition reduction, academic credit, the Global Leaders Award, Minority Serving Institution Award, or a Dean's Award. We grant awards based on merit and other factors, and I want to stress that these awards do not cover full tuition and other expenses. Some students often ask if they can get a full ride, and I say, no, we don't do that. To the extent that there is full funding for our graduate students, it is designated for the PhD students. So that's just something to keep in mind. We wish that we had enough money to offer everyone a full ride, but we don't, and so we do what we can. So master's students are not eligible for graduate assistantships either. Those are directed to PhD students. When I talk about the department providing funding for research assistants, that's separate from a graduate assistantship, which is a PhD level award. There are a couple of awards that we offer that are based on that specific criteria for them. The Global Leaders Award is available to qualified students studying on an F1 visa from the countries listed below. The countries change over time, but at the moment, those are the countries that are eligible for the Global Leaders Award. These students from these countries receive an application fee waiver and are eligible for a renewable tuition award of up to $10,000 per academic year, or $20,000 total. I also want to mention that not all eligible applicants receive the award, meaning that even if you're from Peru, you're not guaranteed that you'll get a Global Leaders Award, but you are eligible for it. And those decisions are made in the Financial Awards Office. We have a Minority Serving Institution Award, and the criteria for eligibility are listed here. You need to expect to receive an undergraduate degree from an approved MSI, and they may request a waiver of the application fee. And local universities, Howard University, Morgan State, and the University of District Columbia are eligible MSIs. Again, for a list of the institutions, go to the website as listed here. There are some 30 institutions eligible for the MSI award. Finally, the additional sources of financial support. There's a Dean's Award. These are for students who may not fall into one of the categories, those 2 categories I just discussed. These merit-based awards may be in the form of tuition credits or financial amounts. They are non-renewable and they cover partial tuition. Another way to get financial support, as I mentioned earlier, is that graduate students may work on campus in a position found through our student employment services. And our students work on campus in positions such as a statistical consultant in the academic commons. They work as tutors for undergraduate students, and they work as research or teaching assistants at various GW departments and schools. I'll mention that this on-campus appointment that I just discussed does not cover the awards that are specifically from the econ department, but are more generally available at GW. Yet another reason why it's good to be studying at GW, because we have all these other resources available to you. Finally, let me mention funding from the Department of Economics. You are able to obtain financial assistance from the department by becoming a research assistant for an econ professor, working as a grader in the economics department, or obtaining funding for an unpaid internship. And let me provide a little bit of detail about these particular financial awards. Every semester, many of our students work as RAs for our professors or help them with grading in their undergraduate courses. These positions are paid by the hour. They're not, so you get paid for the hours that you work. Again, this funding is limited. It is not sufficient to cover tuition and fees. Our students also have held internships at the IMF, the World Bank, the UN, and at local consulting firms. Finally, we award these RA and grader positions after students have enrolled. Many students do email me and ask if they can be matched with a professor, and I emphasize that we make the matches after students who have enrolled. Again, these are positions that are available to students who are in the Applied Economics Master's Program. If you are a current GW undergrad, you probably are aware of the Grad to Grad program. It's a great program. It allows you to reduce your tuition by 10%, and you're eligible for this Grad to Grad benefit as long as you enroll no later than 1 year after earning your GW bachelor's degree. So if you're graduating from GW, say this spring in May, you must enroll either in the fall of 2025 or in the spring of 2026 to be eligible for the Grad to Grad award. Finally, for some of you who may have taken the MIT-X MicroMasters program, this is offered through MIT, and GW is a pathway program for holders of the Data, Economics, and Design of Policy credential. If you have that credential, then you are able to apply 2 of the courses that you studied at MIT towards your MS degree here. So that's 2 courses is equivalent to 20% tuition reduction. So if you're thinking about how to save on the cost of your master's education here at GW, I highly encourage you to go look at the MIT-X program and see if you can earn earn credit for 2 courses there and then apply to GW. The link is on this slide. We also have a link on our website, and of course MIT has a link on their website to us. Our faculty, graduate assistants, and students, there is the professor's gate straight ahead. You can see that pavilion that I've mentioned. And behind that pavilion is our Gelman Library, which is the home of an incredible wealth of resources in both library resources and coding and even help for faculty. I'm over there all the time asking help with various elements for my teaching. So let me now talk about our faculty. Well, here's a photo taken in my backyard. I invited everyone over to have for dinner, and a number of them came. These are professors who have earned their PhDs from top universities and bring a wealth of practical perspective to their courses, thus teaching you how to apply your knowledge in a real world setting. I really love the people who teach for me, and as you can tell by their smiles that they love teaching you. Our graduate assistants, we have a team of economics PhD students who help with the program. These PhD students run weekly discussion sections to help you work on your problem sets, prepare for exams, and obtain individual assistance. Again, because we have a solid PhD program here, we are able to provide the master's students resources from our PhD students that might not be available elsewhere. These students also offer programming workshops and any additional instruction that our professors believe will help them learn the material. Here's a group of PhDs of our graduate assistants from a couple of years ago. I took them out to lunch to thank them for all that they've done for the program. The woman to my left, Dong Hao Wu, is currently our head of the graduate assistants. Our students, I mentioned, I love our students. This is a picture taken from the fall of 2019. This is what we call the outdoor classroom at GW, and they're it was a great, I love all of our students. And so I can't stress enough how wonderful they all are. I will point out that the woman in the front row, Naisa, she was elected as to receive one of our top awards last spring for her graduate work, and she actually spoke at the graduate student commencement exercises last spring. So who are our students and graduates? Well, we have about 30 to 40 students in the program. You may enter in the fall or the spring and complete the program in the fall, spring, or the summer. We do have a few courses we offer this summer. Most students earn their degree in 3 semesters, plus either a summer course or an additional semester. Here's a list of where our students come from. Kate already mentioned at the top of this discussion that we have students from over 130 countries. Here's a list of where some students have come from. And I'm going to glance down at my list of current students and just say, we have students from South Korea, Turkey, Bolivia, India, China, Dominican Republic, Nepal, India, Egypt, Japan, Vietnam, Spain, Germany, Ghana, Nigeria, Pakistan. So that's our current student body. And of course, we have students from the United States. I was only reading the foreign countries there. More about our students. Many students have work experience while others begin their graduate studies immediately after completing their undergraduate degree. Most students have studied economics or business administration, but many have studied engineering, political science, journalism, and more. You don't need to have an econ degree to have to start the program. You do have to have taken those courses in micro and macroeconomics, but you don't need a degree in that. So I can see one of the questions up above on my list here is that I have a computer science degree. Am I eligible? Yes, you are. Background in English education. Can you study economics with no background? Yes, but I definitely, if you're coming in not having a strong econ background, you're going to want to refresh your knowledge about economics before you start. What are additional initiatives? For those who have been to Washington, that building is the World Bank, the headquarters of the World Bank, which is a 5-minute walk from where I'm sitting right now. So what are some of the additional initiatives we have, and why do I picture the World Bank there? Well, because we have a partnership with the World Bank's Data Lab, where we are the only school in the DC area that is a partner with the Data Lab. And not only we're the only school in the DC area, we're one of only 2 in the US, the other one is in California, and 3 worldwide, that third one is in London. So if you want to work in the Data Lab, you're going to have to join us at GW. I actually teach the Data Lab class, and I love it. This is one of the things that I was really eager to get established at GW, and we work very closely with the data science team to do these projects. So through their research projects, students work directly with World Bank economists on a real world problem. It's fantastic. And through these projects, students earn academic credit by helping World Bank teams solve their data challenges. Another thing that we have at GW is you can do a combined master's and graduate certificate at the same time. You apply for dual enrollment. This is a great feature because it allows you to specialize, say, in something called business analytics or data science. You apply a couple of the courses, 2 of the courses for your graduate certificate, apply towards your master's degree. So you reduce the cost of getting the two degrees by 20%. So it's a great way to save money, and many of our students do pursue this option. There's no separate admissions process. Once you enroll at GW, you'll meet with me, you'll meet with the director of the graduate certificate, you'll get all your signatures, and you're ready to go. Additional resources we offer, and I want to mention that these are some of the highlights of our program. We have a free oral and written communications workshop where you can develop your skills, communication skills in a range of settings and formats. Employers love this feature. They take it for granted that someone with a degree has all the quantitative skills. Maybe they don't take it for granted, but they see that on the transcript. But what they don't see on transcript is, can they communicate? Taking this workshop shows them that you are able to communicate, and it's a wonderful resource. Our Data and Technology Lab offers free software and programming workshops for Stata, R, Python, Tableau, GitLab, JavaScript, API, Zotero. I mean, you can't even count the number of resources that our Academic Commons and Library and Academic Innovations programs offer to our students. Free tutoring services, a full staff set of library resources, state-of-the-art computer lab. And finally, we're a member of the consortium of local universities that allows you to take courses at these universities if those courses aren't offered here. And typically we have a couple students who take a course at one of these universities each semester. There we are standing in front of that pavilion. It's a prominent place on campus. This is actually, you can see by the masks that we are coming out of COVID. It's the spring, it's the class of 2022. There I am with students from Turkey, the United States, Korea, and Japan and Germany. That's Professor Joe Cordes standing with me. And I am there in traditionally the robe that you wear is from your graduate program, and that's the Harvard Crimson robe. Our career and student employment services, they help you in your career search and building your professional network. We have a career readiness plan to help you prepare for your career. We use the Handshake platform to provide job listings, resume writing, and so on and so forth. We have on-campus positions in various departments and programs, and our Applied Economics Network helps you connect with alumni and expand your post-GW career. I'll mention again that through this LinkedIn, I've had students tell me that, well, through LinkedIn, I had this friend, a direct friend, but then that friend had someone that he knew from a different university or a different company. And through this common connection, we linked together. That's the whole benefit of LinkedIn, is that you can be introduced to someone and then make a connection through a person that you know and not an algorithm. Where do our students work after they graduate? We have on the homepage of our website a list of postgraduate employers. The link is at the bottom of this page. Some of the common places, in addition to the World Bank Group, are places like Econ One, Compass Lexicon, Bates White, FTI Consulting, an array of government agencies. I just love listing the acronyms there: CFTC, FCC, FDIC, SBA, BEA, CBO. We have really solid job placement positions, and I often tell the students that my job as the director advisor isn't over until you have a job. What else do they do after they graduate? Some decide to go and pursue additional graduate studies. We do not have a PhD in applied econ here at GW, but some people, after getting their master's, say they do want to get additional education, and so they may go for a PhD in various fields, or they may decide to return to a position in their home country. And many of these students receive promotions upon their return. So not everyone goes to work. Some go on back to academics or return to a job, but many of our students come here because they're interested in advancing their career. So that's the end of my formal presentation. Thank you for your time. You can reach me through the email address there, appliedecon@gwu.edu. If you happen to have questions about the admissions process, please send your question to the email addresses listed below there. The most common one is askccas@gwu.edu or gradccas@gwu.edu.